Ice cream place, store, pizza place, library, the library when they built it. I mean, even if they hang out there in their cars, they have a school they listen to. Don't they have a school they listen to? He can just chat with them. So, I don't see an issue with which one. The car charging across from Fitzgerald. Because that's the only thing that I could see. Everything else should go bang, 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 right down. You should just go right down the list and not worry about anything.
Being honest, I did not study about this one that much, so I cannot comment at this moment. Oh my god.
What did you go to?
Got nothing better to do.
And right across the street from high school. Who this company is. Andrew.
Impacting 6732 Maxwell Avenue, Section 33, per the site plan provided. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office, MCPWO, has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonek@macombgov.org. Prior to construction, a soil erosion permit may be required from this office. Contact our soil erosion department at 586-469-5327 for more information regarding same. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation.
Okay, my name is Ron Worth. I'm the Planning Director, and I'll read the recommendation. It is recommended that the site plan for expanded outdoor storage be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission and more specifically. Number one, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following, and we'll start with 1A. The words light industrial district shall be added to the M1 zoning designation in the site data chart. 1B, per a field check of the site, it was observed that one of the garage doors is damaged and contains a large hole. A note shall be provided on the site plan stating damaged garage doors shall be repaired or replaced. 1C, the driveway approach located northeast of the building measures 80 feet in length. The east 20 feet shall be removed and replaced with straight street curbing and landscaping materials and noted on the site plan. 1D, a driveway approach, there's no driveway, measuring 25 feet in length and beginning 50 feet from the east property line, and that's off of Maxwell, shall be removed and replaced with straight street curbing and landscaping materials noted on the site plan. 1E, a note shall be provided on the plan stating all landscaping or landscaped areas shall be automatically irrigated. 1F, the west 37 feet of the fence and sliding gate, setback 7 feet, and parallel to the north property line, that's Maxwell Avenue, shall be relocated to a 10-foot setback from the north property line. This is a requirement and condition of the Zoning Board of Appeals. 1G, the dimensions from the chain link fencing to the north and east property lines shall be provided on the site plan per the August 24, 2016 Zoning Board of Appeals decision. The petitioner was allowed to construct a 6-foot-high chain link fence with plastic slats instead of the required green belt or wall, with the condition that it be placed 10 feet west of the east property line. The Zoning Board of Appeals also allowed the construction of a 6-foot-high chain link fence in the front yard with the condition that it be placed east of the driveway to the east property line, 10 feet back from the north. Okay, per the fence permit dated October 24th, 2017, the fence was to be constructed 10 feet from the north and east property lines. If the fence is not 10 feet from the property lines, it shall be relocated, or a variance from Zoning Board of Appeals will be necessary to retain it at its current setback. H, per a field check of the site, it was observed that some of the fencing is damaged and screening slats are missing. A note shall be provided on the site plan stating damaged fencing shall be repaired and replaced and screening slats be provided where missing. I, under site information, item 8, the following shall be added to the existing parking note, and that is required accessible parking spaces, 1 space, including 1 van accessible space, and provided accessible parking spaces, 1 space includes 1 van accessible space. Okay, 1J. The proposed site plan only indicates the width of the passenger parking spaces. The length of the passenger parking spaces shall be indicated on the site plan. 1K, there are 10 passenger parking spaces indicated on the plan. Under site information, item 8, correct the parking note from 11 spaces are provided to 10 spaces are provided. Excuse me. 1L, all proposed areas of open storage shall be dimensioned on the site plan. 1M, vehicle circulation arrows for maneuvering shall be indicated on the site plan. 1N, the variance requested note shall be removed from the site plan. Any required variances that are obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals shall be added to the revised site plan. 1O, the following notes shall be added to the site plan, and that is all outdoor retail sales of items shall be prohibited from the site. 1P, the following note shall be added to the site plan. And that is, all lighting on the site shall be shielded and not encroach upon abutting properties. The light fixtures, pole and base shall be no higher than 20 feet as measured from the top of the light fixture to the bottom of the base at ground level. All glare shall be eliminated from all light fixtures. Upward directed lighting shall not be permitted. 1Q, the following note shall be added to the site plan, and that is all barbed wire and supports for barbed wire are prohibited on the site. 1R, the maximum height of the materials and vehicles to be in the open storage areas shall be indicated under site information. Condition number 2, the petitioner indicates on the plan that he would like to vacate the north and south direction 18-foot wide public alley located along the west property line of the property and between Maxwell and Cadillac Avenues. The petitioner may obtain an application from the planning department to begin the process of vacating the alley. Condition number 3, the following variances may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the building division. And we'll start with A, to have an outdoor storage within 13 feet of the north or front property line, which is Maxwell Avenue. 3B, to permit all of the outdoor storage areas to have gravel surfaces. 3C, to permit 5,733.50 square feet of additional outdoor storage areas. And 3D, per the fence permit dated October 24th, 2017, the fence was to be constructed 10 feet from the north and east property lines. If the fence is not 10 feet from the property lines, it shall be relocated, or a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals will be necessary to retain it at its current location. If approved, the variances shall be added to the revised site plan. And finally, condition number 4, a performance bond in the amount of $1,200 be posted according to the estimated cost of the project of $40,000 by the petitioner. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation is submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to come up and speak on this item? State your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Hi, my name is Violet Anchor. I live at 6759 Cadillac. I'm directly behind that. First of all, I want to let you guys know I really appreciate everything you did for this to be cleaned up. I didn't know if I'd ever see it look this nice as it does. My other concern that I'm having, though, is those little bushes that are planted all in the back. I was told that Ron had to plant those, that the city required that. But my thing is, with me living back there, I had to have a tree trimmed. 2 branches, and my cheapest price was $2,600. They said because it's hard for anybody to get back there because of that fence. And I was also told that a lot of that's supposed to be open for emergency vehicles. So my concern, now we have all those bushes being planted back there to even go between Maxwell and to the easement. And so if we had to have anything come back there, it's hard for any of us residents cutting our grass now. And then I don't even know how to do that. If a company, when the tree company came, they had to park on Maxwell and come between that part to get onto my property. So now that we're having these little trees being planted there, that's now more blockage. So I just don't know what the idea of those little trees back there are, where a lot of them are dead anyway. So if somebody could look into that, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Hi, my name is Megan. I live at 6779 Cadillac. I have a property that also backs up to this property. It has been an issue for years. This is not the first time that we have all had to come together to deal with this. And yes, it's been improved. I have concerns about giving them any type of leeway going forward because the boundaries of the previous zoning were never respected. And again, same issues as previously. The shrubs that were planted are dying already. It does restrict access to the alleyway. The houses that are on Cadillac are all connected, so that alleyway is necessary for if there was a fire, for utility companies, things like that. There was a question previously about moving the fence. I couldn't tell when we were talking earlier if that was something that is being planned. Are they talking about moving the fence back and taking up part of the alley? Because that's something that can't happen. So, you know, questions going forward about how this is going to affect all of the neighbors. I do have a business, you know, on the street on Cadillac, and, you know, we have concerns. Also, this has taken up a lot of time that we've all had to, you know, plan around, and this keeps getting pushed back and back and back and back.
Thank you.
Van Est, V-A-N-N-E-S-T-E. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Chair, I make a motion to support,
Support or approve?
to approve it, I mean, to approve, I apologize, to approve.
I'll support it.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Duzay. Any discussion?
Question. Ron, as far as these bushes,
You can come up, sir, if you want.
sure.
I'm sorry, I thought you were speaking to me.
No,
Speak to
no.
Mr. Wirth.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Okay.
You've heard the concerns, I don't know whether which one of you needs to answer it, but you've heard the concerns about the shrubs, and trees. Is there something that we can do to fix this? I'm not that big a fan of closing out the alley because of fire. I'm not a fan of closing the alley because of fire trucks and everything else. So, but, is there anything we can do about the shrubs other than what we've stated in here already?
Someone-
I'll make a statement.
Are you saying?
All right, well, all right, were you encouraged to plant these shrubs?
Yes, sir.
Is that, okay. From the city, all right, he was encouraged to do that, plant the shrubs. Ideally, they grow up and they create it's like a green belt, and ideally you can't see through. It's like, it's not an official green belt that we have in the city, but it's what was asked of them. All right, these, they're all on your property?
Yes, sir, they are.
Okay, so then on the south side of your property line, there's another part of the easement that runs through there,
That's
right?
correct. If you recall, when we put the fence up, we put it 10 feet onto our property.
She couldn't stand
Yeah.
tonight. If you wanted to talk at the mic, to get it caught in the mic, if you're speaking with him.
Even though I'm not picking it up, they are getting it, and that might, you still have to speak.
Yeah, when you're talking to me, just, anyway, go ahead and read.
When we put the fence up in 2017, we put the fence up 10 feet from our property line. And yes, those arborvitaes are put on our property. We were encouraged from the city to put them on our property line as basically a green belt. But if the city would like us to remove them, we will remove them. If that's what the city has asked us to do, we will remove them if the city would like us to. Whatever you encourage me to do, that's what we'll do.
Well, it's the planning commission that will make the final decision, but, if,
Ma'am, you
No.
can't
okay.
talk.
And that's not an alley back there. It's not an alley. It's an utility easement, that's my understanding. And it's 5 feet on one side, 5 feet on the other, and it runs from that alley all the way to the other side, to my knowledge. So anyway, so there's it's all on your property.
Yes, sir. That is all on our property, along the south side and
Yeah.
along the east side.
Yeah.
And then we
Dave-
have
David?
approximately 14 trees
There, stop it,
Along-
David.
along the north side,
Okay.
which was what we were encouraged to do by the city for beautification purposes.
Okay. So, all right. Well, at this point, I mean, I understand maybe there are issues, but I don't see a problem with those trees growing, becoming a green belt, and maintained on his property. They're not on anyone else's property. Now, if people need to if utilities have to get back there, they can come through his property easily and get to whatever's back there off of his property from that driveway out there. And, you know, from the other side, from the neighbor's side, there's a 5-foot strip there that, I think, and that they're supposed to be able to get to from the neighbor's property or from the alley, the north-south alley,
All right,
okay? That's about all really I have to say about it.
all right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any discussion? Megan, public hearing's over. This is with the commission now. Okay. Well, you had your turn to come up and speak. Sorry. When it's turned over to the commission, then the public doesn't get a chance to speak anymore. Okay? Sorry. Any other discussion?
What are you gonna store back there?
Equipment.
What are you storing back there?
Equipment, our equipment, customer equipment that is either waiting for repair, our equipment, the rental equipment that is waiting for repair or waiting to go out on rent.
So it's temporary storage?
Yes,
if
sir.
you will.
Nothing permanent.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
My delivery trucks, we're a forklift repair company, so our delivery trucks for the evening, during the day, they're not there. They're out on runs.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to say? Mr. Gers, could you come back up to the mic, please?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Good evening.
I apologize. I'm sorry, sir.
You're fine. One of the concerns I have is I've noticed periodically there are semis on Maxwell parked, and there shouldn't be any commercial.
We only have one semi, sir. I only have one.
But I've seen semis with trailers, and I've seen
Those
men working on the trailers in the street.
Those do not belong to me, sir. Those belong to the neighboring business across the street.
Okay.
He does semi-truck tire repair.
Okay.
Those belong to him, sir.
Okay. All right.
The name of that business is LT Tire, and that's what he does over there, sir.
Okay. Now, your business comes out on the Sherwood, right?
Yes, sir. My business is 22740 Sherwood, and the back building, 6732 Maxwell, is technically what we call our cold storage building, and that's just our, quote, warehouse. That's where we keep our forklifts. that are either waiting for customer approval or our rental trucks that are going to be going out for rental.
Okay. I've noticed a few times when I've been down through there, you've had forklifts on the street on Sherwood between the sidewalk and the street.
Those are staged. Those are there to either be shipped out, or those are coming in, waiting to come into the building for repair. Nothing is there overnight. Those are there just for short term, maybe an hour, 2 hours, nothing for long term, sir.
Well, I don't really know if that's going to be approved to have them in that spot. There might be another spot you might have to put them in,
Okay,
so they're not out there, because you shouldn't have any forklifts in that area,
okay, understand.
okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion?
Anything else for me?
Not right now, so
Thank
thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Duzay. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi,
Yes.
Commissioner Duzay,
Yes.
Commissioner Ansar,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi,
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk,
Yes.
Commissioner Mori votes yes, Commissioner Benecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes, the motion passes. Good luck, sir. Hopefully you can keep it cleaned up like that so that, you know, it's not an eyesore. Item number 6B.
Item number 6B, site plan for open storage of vehicles and trailers, building modifications, parking updates, and addition of canopy structure located on the southeast corner of 10 Mile Road and DeQuinder Road, 2000 10 Mile Road, Section 30, Matt Brachia, AREC 42 LLC, Jeff Stephanie U-Haul, PSP 260029. This was postponed from June 15, 2026. The petitioner requested that this item be further postponed to October 5th, 2026. Thank you.
Need a motion to postpone this item to October 5th,
So
2026?
move, Mr. Chairman.
Support, Chair. Commissioner Holowati?
As a motion by Commissioner Duzay, supported by Commissioner Halawadi, to postpone this item to August 5th. Roll call.
Commissioner Duzay,
Yes.
Commissioner Halawadi,
Yes.
Commissioner Ansar,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi,
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk,
Yes.
Commissioner Mori votes yes, Commissioner Benecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes, to postpone to October 5th, 2026. Item number 6C.
Item number 6C, site plan for outdoor storage of construction materials, equipment, and trucks located on the east side of Ryan Road, approximately 422 feet south of Topher Avenue, 21450 Ryan Road, Section 32, Michael Arndt, 21450 Ryan Road, LLC, Karen M. Birdie, PSP 260024, postponed from June 15, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Birdie.
Good evening.
Can you tell us a little bit about the project?
Yes. Karen Birdie on behalf of M&L Year-Round Solutions. It's owned by Michael and Lori Arndt. A little bit of history about this piece of property. This was on the city's hot list for properties that needed to be cleaned up. For years, the city had been working with the previous owner, not this owner, the previous owner, to clean up the property. A little bit of progress would be made, but it was never brought to the condition that it was supposed to be in. The property then gets sold to my client, Michael and Lori Arndt, and in 3 months' time, they had that property cleaned up from top to bottom. I went out to that piece of property and I didn't even recognize it. It is neat, organized, and clean. So this was one of the properties that the city wanted cleaned up, and the new owner did just that. The reason that he's here is because he runs a excavating sewer line business. Basically, from your house to the street, if your sewer line is clay and collapses, or if it's full of trees, or what have you. He also does commercial work. So obviously, to do that, he has pipes, he has backfill, he has gravel, he has an excavator, he has trucks that pull the excavator, all of this type of equipment to do this work. On the plan that was submitted to you, we were extremely specific with what's being stored where. We didn't just say, if you will, equipment or some, we said these are trucks, this is where the equipment is, this is where the pea gravel is, the backfill is, et cetera. So he's been extremely specific on what's being stored and where it's being stored on the property. I will tell you that when I went out to the property, all the neighbors came over. They are very happy with this gentleman, with how clean the property is, and they seem to all get along very nicely, including to the east of this property, behind this gentleman, is a residential property. And my client introduced himself to her when he bought the property. How long's it been? A couple years? December of 2025. And they have gotten along beautifully. They work together. He's assisted her with a landscaping project. She needed help getting some dirt, et cetera. And they get along very nicely. So keeping that in mind, we have reviewed what the city has proposed in the recommendation, and we agree with what's in the recommendation, except for one item.
Ms. Birdie?
Yes,
Can we go get our correspondence out of the way, and then
Okay.
I'll bring you back up, and we can go over the recommendation.
okay,
We'll have the planning department read the recommendation.
okay.
And then we can
Then
make
I
the-
think there's two other things I want to say besides the recommendation. May I say them now?
Go ahead.
Which is more appropriate? Okay. I want to say that this is not an intense use. My client basically is not at the yard working. All of his jobs are on location, right? So he travels to the house, he travels to where the commercial jobs are, et cetera. He's in that yard in the morning and in the mid to late afternoon. And the way that he functions is, in the mid to late afternoon, he gets his equipment and everything ready for the next day. Okay? So by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, he's out of there. And it's quiet. He's only there for an hour or two getting his equipment and everything ready to go for the next day. He comes the next morning. It's a matter of parking the cars and getting in the trucks and leaving. So this is not an intense use that would disturb pretty much anybody. And the hours where you could claim that you could hear him is pretty much mid to late afternoon. And then he's gone by 5, 6 o'clock. So I wanted to bring up that it's not an intense use. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is, we did ask for an adjournment back in June because there were some items that we wanted to clarify with the planning department, and we met, and we had a really good meeting, and that was a very useful meeting. It basically brought down the recommendation from, I don't know, 800 pages to, I'm just playing, I like to tease them, but brought the recommendation down far. But during that time period, I got a phone call from a council member stating that there were people complaining about this project. I said to the council person, you've got to be mistaken, please check again. Here's the address. And they called me back and they said that they were mistaken, that it was not this address. So I just want to say that if there's anybody's been contacted about this project, please make sure that it was about this address, because there was a mistake going on at the time that got sorted out, that a person was calling, identifying this business as a problem, but when he got the address, he found out that he was mistaken, and they withdrew the complaint, if you will. So with regard to that, I'll sit down until after the recommendation.
Thank you, ma'am. Correspondence?
Correspondence, taxes, current building. Building has no issues. Engineering, preliminary review of this site yielded the following comments from the engineering division. Number 1, show how you intend to drain the rear of the parcel. Drainage into adjacent properties is not permitted. Number 2, all outdoor storage spaces shall be hard surface, concrete, or HMA, except with variance. Number 3, the outdoor parameter of all paved and parking spaces shall be minimum 6-inch concrete curb and gutter. Number 4, soil erosion and sedimentation permit or waiver shall be required prior to construction. Number 5, show and identify the location of the existing and proposed drive approach. Commercial drive approach shall be minimum 26-foot wide with 20-foot radius. Fire. In regard to the traffic letter for 21450 Ryan Road, the plan set states that they are using 1996 Boca Fire Code. We currently are under IFC 2021. Also, the fire department would need access to the yard via knockbox. AT&T. AT&T does not object to the proposed storage plans. Comcast. We have aerial facilities in the area, but we have no conflicts with the proposal. DTE. DTE Electric Company has reviewed the site plan for outdoor storage of construction materials, equipment, and trucks. DTE has no objection to this request impacting 21450 Ryan Road, Section 22, per the site plan provided. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonick@macombgov.org. Prior to construction, a soil erosion permit may be required from this office. Contact our soil erosion department at 586-469-5327 for more information regarding same. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation.
It is recommended that the site plan for outdoor storage of construction materials, equipment, and trucks for a home sewer repair company be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically, number 1, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following. 1A, there are typos in the site data chart for 3 of the storage areas. The items shall be updated as follows. Number 1, storage machine implements, 10 feet by 20 feet, that's 200 square feet. Number 2, outdoor storage clay and sand, 10 feet by 40 feet, that's 400 square feet. And number 3, outdoor storage construction equipment, 10 feet by 20.64 feet, 206.40 square feet. With these edits, the total open storage requested on the property will be 8,886.40 square feet. 1B, the east 45 feet of the subject property is zoned R1P, one family residential and parking district, and abutting to the east, there is an R1C, one family residential district developed with a single family dwelling. An existing wall is indicated on the site plan. However, planning staff is concerned that the height of the storage exceeds the wall height, therefore the storage would not be adequately screened. Initially, planning staff recommended adding a mix of deciduous and evergreen trees that would need to be planted along the wall within the east 45 feet of the R1P zone of the property. However, per the revised plan, as a result of the meeting, the petitioner seeks to utilize the R1P for outdoor storage. Additionally, instead of plantings to provide additional screening, the revised site plan provides a concrete wall detail which indicates the current wall, which measures 7 feet 6 inches, would be increased 3 feet with a chain link fence with screen slats. This measure is proposed along the east property line as a modified screening mechanism. C, the revised site plan was updated to include an accessible parking space. However, the parking space shall be increased in width to meet van accessible requirements per ADA, which is 16 feet in width. D, the landscaping in the front of the building is in need of maintenance. Per the meeting with the petitioner, landscaping was planted in this area recently. Add this information to the site plan and include the types of plantings provided. E, the legal description of the property is incorrect. The property begins in the northwest corner, point of beginning 33 feet east of the center line of Ryan Road. The north property line is reduced in length from 399.87 feet to 366.87 feet. The south property line is reduced from 400.11 feet to 367.11 feet. The east and west property lines may be adjusted accordingly to arrive at the new property description. The description shall be then approved with the City of Warren Assessing Department and the Macomb County Register of Deeds. Number 2, 2 copies of revised survey plans shall be submitted indicating the following, which is a repetition of what I just said, but I can read it again. The legal description of the property is incorrect. The property begins in the northwest corner, point of beginning, 33 feet east of the center of line of Ryan Road. The north property line is reduced in length from 399.87 feet to 366.87 feet. The south property line is reduced from 400.11 to 367.11 feet. The east and west property lines may be adjusted accordingly to arrive at a new property description. The description shall then be approved with the City of Warren Assessing Department and the Macomb County Register of Deeds. Number 3, the length of the parcel, 400.11 feet, is measured to the center of Ryan Road. This property currently has a 33-foot right-of-way along Ryan Road. The petitioner may dedicate the additional 27 feet of Ryan Road right-of-way, 60 feet in total, to the city. However, the petitioner may refuse to deed the 27 feet wide strip of property along Ryan Road. In the future, Ryan Road may be widened, in which case the city would obtain an easement for use of that property. An application can be obtained in the Public Service Department. After the right-of-way dedication, the property will measure 340.11 feet in length. Number 4, during a field check of the site, the owner indicated to planning staff that they also utilize a driveway on the adjacent south property owner's property to access their property. The driveway is located between 21410 Ryan Road, that's 13-32-301-009, and 21412 Ryan Road, and that parcel number is 13-32-301-008, and it crosses 21446 Ryan Road, which is parcel number 13-32-301-007, before entering the subject property. The petitioner also has access to the property to the north, which is 21500 Ryan Road, parcel number 13-32-301-005, by way of a paved maneuvering lane. The petitioner shall provide recorded documents for ingress egress with the owners of the properties listed above, abutting to the south and north. The document shall be approved in draft format for form by the city attorney prior to being recorded at the Macomb County Register of Deeds. A copy of the document shall be provided to the planning department. Number 5, the planning commission currently retains a performance cash bond in the amount of $2,500 as a guarantee for site improvements. The last site inspection on the 1988 site plan occurred in 1995, and at that time there were issues with the open storage and the pavement in front of the building, when the site plan from 1988 indicated the area to be a grass area. Additionally, the 1988 plan, indicated that the east 40 feet to be a green belt with grass. This bond was posted by the previous owner, and we will release it once we receive the bond from this current owner. Number 6, the following variances may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the Building Division. 6A, a use variance to allow the above-ground fuel tanks per section 17.02P of the zoning ordinance. 6B, to exceed the allowed open storage on the property. The plan indicates 8,886.40 square feet of open storage when only 672 square feet is permitted. 6C, to extend the height of the existing wall fence to 10 feet 6 inches along the east property line for the purposes of screening the outdoor storage. 6D, a use variance will be required from the Zoning Board of Appeals to retain the open storage in the 45-foot wide R1P district up to the east property line abutting the R1C single-family dwelling parcel to the east. And 6E, to retain the asphalt millings, gravel, which are used on approximately the east 200 feet of the property. If approved, the variances shall be added to the revised site plan. And number 7, a performance bond in the amount of $60 shall be posted according to the estimated cost of $2,000 by the petitioner. Planning staff notes that we believe the proposed bond is too low, given the fact that additional landscaping in the front and rear of the property are part of the improvements, resulting in the bond in the amount of $1,000. And this ends the recommendation.
Thanks, Ms. Michelle. Ms. Birdie, you want to come up and finish your comments?
I wanted to say that we agree with the recommendation. When it was talked about planting trees on our property back by the wall, we were very concerned about that because planting trees back there, the wall's already almost 8 feet tall. You'd have to get some very large trees if they're gonna actually do the job. And our concern was that as we have equipment stored back there, very heavy equipment, that those trees weren't gonna survive when the roots go out and they get crushed by those trucks and everything every day, they're gonna die. So what we had proposed, and it was discussed in the recommendation, was to increase on top of the wall an additional 3 feet. And we understand with the chain link with the slats on top. And we understand that we have to get approval of that from the Zoning Board of Appeals. But we think that that's a more logical solution, given the use of the property, and that the plantings probably wouldn't make it otherwise. The other item in here is, on this property to the south of us is a trucking company. And we do have a rolling gate here between the two properties. And it's not uncommon for us to come in and enter our property and then back up. So we are going to do the access easement and prepare that document. The other access easement that they're talking about, I have to tell you, is on the property here. And they're talking about us coming in his driveway here and into our property, and he never does that. There's no need for us to ever go in his driveway. It doesn't make sense to have to go in the driveway, his driveway, do a sharp turn, and then come here. So since he doesn't actually do that, we're not doing an access easement with the northern neighbor because it just doesn't make sense. We're not using his driveway or his property. So that was the only thing that I was going to explain that we're not doing. Besides that, we're in agreement with the larger bond. We're in agreement with everything else. And ready to move forward.
Thank you, Ms. Birdie. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to come up and speak on this, come up, state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Chair, make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I support it.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Hawk. Any discussion? To the petitioner. To the petitioner.
Petitioner, please step forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the mics aren't working right. No, I like the idea with the fence with the slats. I think that's a better way of screening it versus the trees.
Yes.
So I like that you came up with that idea to do that. And hopefully zoning will look at that way too, so.
I think when we explain why, I'm hoping that's a good reason.
So I had gone back there at the first meeting, and I measured the walls like 7'6" tall, just a little under 8 feet, so.
Yeah.
It went up pretty high already, but I
Yep.
understand the kind of equipment you've got going in there, you want to completely screen it.
Right.
So, all right, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
That was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Hawk. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi,
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk,
Yes.
Commissioner Ansar,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi,
Yes.
Commissioner Duze,
Yes.
Maury votes yes, Commissioner Bonecki. Yes. Commissioner Smith.
Yes to approve. Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Hold it, Ron. Did Ron, you want to say something?
Yeah. There's some issues with that front area.
Oh, come up to the mic, Mike. Come up to the mic, Ron.
We just want a clarification, did the commission agree to waive that ingress egress to the north? That's what I wanted confirmation, the request from the applicant, and then the concern that the planning director is gonna raise is that eliminating that access point between the two. So that was just what I wanted to confirm, if that was part of the recommendation to waive that. So we can eliminate that from our recommendation if that's the case.
All right. I need a motion to,
Mr. Chair, I have a.
Can I comment for 1 second on that? Just so we're clear, where that access is, oh, there it is, that's a good picture.
Yeah.
That's a good picture. So where that access is owned by the city. It's in the city right away.
On the property to the north.
Well, that's where the access is.
I know.
Not on
Yeah.
your property,
Not on yours, yeah.
not on your property. You have a 33-foot right-of-way as opposed to a 60-foot right-of-way. Okay? So typically, you
Ryan, can you come up?
landscape that area.
Come up.
Okay, the access, I don't think, I think we're like at cross points. So, the comment about using the neighbor's driveway, see the neighbor's driveway there, up there?
I do.
And then coming this way and then going in, is too sharp a turns for his stuff. He doesn't use their driveway, he uses his driveway. So what you're saying is you want something across that, right?
Well, no.
No?
I mean, if you want to use it,
We
then,
don't.
then you have an ingress egress. If you don't want to use it, well, let me back up. First off, that was never approved by the Planning Commission any time in the past. Your front setback is seven feet, minimum, okay, right there. And the 33-foot line is, I'm not sure exactly where. But, okay, all right. So beyond that, it is supposed to be landscaped.
It is now, it is now.
Well,
He fixed it.
no, that whole concrete area ultimately should be removed and turned into landscaping. Or you chop out some of it and use it for parking, expand that parking area
We can't
back
park
over.
there because of the setback, we can't park there.
Why?
You
The
told us-
setback,
you told
the
us we can't.
setback, a setback is 8 feet.
You told us we can't because of this line.
No, you can't, all right, that
told us
line
we
doesn't,
can't do
that line is, isn't gonna be there because I think you were, it's either we get the right-of-way and you provide it to us, you give it to us, or you stay with the 33-foot line, okay?
Yeah,
And now you take this line off of here, and it's, you could extend this down to here, you got a 7-foot setback, that's what it is. If this is the new line, new right-of-way, now you've got a 7-foot setback up here, it moves up here.
okay, so we're keeping this line,
Yeah,
okay? And what you're saying is, on this property line, they could put, like.
no, I'm not saying, here's what I'm saying, see this line right here?
Yes,
All right, that's the curb line for the bushes. That goes, watch, that goes to here. This area here is removed totally. And then no one runs through there, there's no access, it's impossible. We don't want you to put up some barrier up there, remove it. This part right there. Because it's landscaping, and we always work on these properties that were designed and built illegally. Now,
so now that I know the two options,
okay, so what,
so now I know the two options. Either one of those two options are acceptable, right?
yeah,
Either one of those two.
well,
Let me have an opportunity to talk with him, and we'll pick one of those options, if either one's acceptable.
okay, you wanna do that in the future, or are you gonna do it right now, or what are you going to do? You wanna postpone this? so
No, I
that you
don't
can-
wanna postpone this.
Well,
I
then-
really don't wanna postpone this.
Okay, so how long is it gonna take you to make the decision?
Well, I probably need 15 minutes with him. I mean,
Okay,
this is a
then-
surprise to
then-
him.
Then just, we can stop this right now, put it off to a little bit later. They can come back in and tell us what the result will be. Mary, I think that's what we can do.
Suspend this item temporarily.
Okay, we're gonna suspend this item temporarily, maybe too closer to the end of the meeting to get some resolve on this the next question,
Okay.
okay?
I think even if we just went after like, next. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we've already made a motion to approve it.
Right.
So what we'll do is,
Amend the motion.
we'll hold that motion. Just suspending it for a minute till they can make maybe an amendment to make an amendment to the motion to add whatever they want to change to the motion. Then we'll take a vote on it again.
Sounds like a plan.
to approve the amendment, okay?
I support that.
So we'll move on to 6D, item number 6D.
Item number 6D, site plan for new parking lot for electric vehicle charging station located on the southwest corner of Ryan Road and Burt Avenue, 23451 and 23437 Ryan Road, Section 30, Ahmed Maki Makvolt LLC, PSP 260036. This was automatically postponed from July 27, 2026 as a result of not receiving requisite 5 concurring votes by the seated planning commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Good evening, sir. You want to tell us a little bit more about your project?
Sure. Good evening. Thank you for hearing from me
State your name
again.
and address for the record, please.
My name is Ahmed Maki. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you again. Wanted to go over a few things that the council and the neighbors had concerns that they had regarding the last meeting. So one was lithium fire risk, concern that EV batteries and charging equipment present a meaningful fire hazard. 2 was the proximity to the school across the street, concern that a fast charging site across from a school increases risk to students. 3 was traffic and safety, concern about traffic congestion at the intersection, despite an existing signal being there, and vandalism. And so I'd like to start first with just some quick stats. I mean, I wrote up a lot of different things, but I'll pick and choose here. Just some safety data from 2012, 2021. There's been 1 vehicle fire per 130 to 210 million miles driven in EV vehicles. The average gas-powered vehicle has about 1 fire per 18 to 19 million miles driven. The point of all these stats is, and I don't think there's a lot of concern regarding EV vehicles in general, but the point of this initial slide is just to present the safety that there is in EV vehicles. There was some concern about lithium and that kind of thing, and so that's the reasoning for the data. EVs are about 4 times less likely to catch fire than petroleum or diesel vehicles. Talking about the fire risks, 511 verified EV battery fires worldwide between 2010 to mid-2024. And there's 80 million EVs on the road right now. So 20 to 80 times more likely a gas vehicle catches fire. What actually causes fires when they're connecting to the charging, which is, I think, a lot of the concern. Some of the concern was, I'm charging my vehicle, this increases the chance for a lithium fire, you know, that could be very devastating to the community, that kind of thing. In general, EV fires that happen tend to be from very big accidents, from very big traumatic, like car accidents or, you know, or actual pre-existing damage to the battery, not necessarily the charger. Speaking specifically about fires while they're connected to charging, of those 511, in the last 14 years, 80 of them were verified to involve a vehicle connected to energized charging. This isn't Tesla, this is Ford, this is any EV vehicle. And so there's been no isolated actual data existing for superchargers themselves, which is what we're installing. We're installing top-of-the-line V4 superchargers, which apply to every vehicle and work on every vehicle. The only specific supercharger incident we could find was in March of this year. There was a fire that damaged 7 stalls in Massachusetts, and it was arson. It was just a pure arson event. So we're trying to share anything we can find proactively so you know about any data that exists. Want to talk about the actual V4 supercharger hardware. There's shutoffs that are installed in all of the stalls. So a fault at one stall isolates automatically and doesn't affect the other stalls. There's real-time monitoring. The vehicle actually itself, its battery management system communicates with the charger. If there's a disconnection, if there's a temperature too high, those kind of things, it automatically turns off the charging. And the V4 hardware is actually the top of the line. So this is liquid-cooled, very thick cables, manages heat at very high power. And this is one thing that'll be in my slide later, but the V4 chargers actually have thick cables that have very, very little copper in them as well. So it's mostly liquid cooled. Because of the very little copper, there isn't actually much theft benefit to vandalism or vandals. They don't want to steal that. I mean, they might do it once or twice and then realize there's nothing beneficial in it. But we'll get into the vandalism concerns later. That was one of the concerns. What if a car hits the actual charging post itself? The charging port needs to be thought of like a plug or an outlet. There's nothing in the actual charging port other than electricity. There's no lithium in the charging port. The lithium is in the battery itself. So if your bumper were to hit the charging port, the only things that could happen is an actual electrical fire, which could happen if you ran into a house, you know, that a garage and a plug was there or something like that. It's very similar. So your fire would be an electrical fire, not necessarily a lithium fire. A lithium fire would happen if a car ran over the charging post at about 60 miles per hour. And then your battery might set on fire and you get a lithium fire. And so, and we have actual things that we're going to talk about later to prevent exactly that. It's fairly impossible to do something like that with the small area that we're talking about, but we'll discuss that here in a second. We're putting crash-rated bollards at every stall. These are tested to stop any vehicle before they actually reach the equipment, before they can even do something in that manner. As far as the proximity to the school, and this is fair. I mean, I have kids and nephews and nieces, and hey, I grew up in this area. I mean, for me, you know, I'm not corporate. I'm not a company. I'm an individual that grew up here, that's trying to bring something back to the community that I think is clean and beneficial to the community and could help the community. I get the concerns from the neighbors about the proximity to the school, but if the concerns are EV vehicles, if the concerns are EV batteries, well, I'm sure there's a teacher at that school that has an EV vehicle that's parking in the lot there. There has to be one or two, right? So I know that everybody on this board and everybody in this room probably agrees that it's okay to drive an EV vehicle. That shouldn't be a concern that like I'm scared of. I don't pull up next to an EV vehicle and fear for my life. I mean, we're all very, I think, okay with EV vehicles in general as it relates to that. So the technology is already there. People are driving them. A charger is not necessarily a fuel tank. It's more, like as I said before, the charging post is a power outlet. You're plugging in your car, just as you would plug in your computer. There's no combustible reserve that exists in the actual charger itself. And obviously, like, concern of ours couldn't be higher as far as safety is related. So full fire safety plans, equipment specs are going to happen with the fire marshals before opening, and welcome any input that they have on layout, emergency shut-off placements, anything like that. As far as the traffic and the safety is concerned, we have a signalized intersection at that corner. This is a major, major intersection, okay? Ryan Road, as you all know here, it's a very, very busy street, you know, and we have a controlled intersection there with a traffic light. No one can come blazing in and 60 miles per hour and pull into the lot and you know, and hurt someone or something like that. Someone has to stop at the light, turn right on red, or if it's a green light, turn left at the light, or that kind of thing. I mean, it's a very, very controlled intersection. This is actual like statistics here. A supercharger or a charging site like we're planning on is what's called a convenience charger. A convenience charger is a charger, as it sounds, it's very convenient to the community. It's not a freeway charger. A freeway charger is very busy, People come and go, there's lots of cars. A convenience charger, you're looking at 50, maximum 80 vehicles per day. I think 80 is really high. But even then, we're talking about 2 to 3 vehicles coming in and out of the driveway per hour. This isn't a gas station. This isn't a convenience store. This isn't a Taco Bell. This isn't a come in for 2 minutes and leave 2 minutes later. For anybody that has an EV vehicle, they know I'm going to be sitting there not for 4 hours, as I've heard in the past. Maximum, you'll be sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour. And that's if you have zero charge. In general, people are there for 20 to 30 minutes, charging their cars, and then they leave. It's very controlled in that manner. And so, as I said earlier, what that volume means is this is a fraction of the volume that a gas station incurs. You know, gas stations that are very much in the vicinity. A fraction of the volume a fast food restaurant or a convenience store would incur. Lots of fewer total trips and peak hour concentration than retail, like we discussed. And let's talk a little bit about charging demand. It doesn't behave like school traffic. School traffic is, when I was a kid, it was 7 to 8. 7 to 8 in the morning and probably 3 to 4 in the evening or in the afternoon. Those are the peak times when people are getting picked up or leaving the school or that kind of thing. Charging demand varies, but in general, the highest charging demand is between the hours of 4 to 8 p.m. 4 to 8 p.m. In general, the school should be probably, if there's still people there, it's 20% of what was there previously. You know, in the mornings, if we're concerned about morning drop-offs, the peak times in the mornings tend to be between 5 to 7 a.m. But in general, the highest peak time is 4 to 8 p.m. And as I said, you're talking 2 to 3 vehicles per hour on average. The lowest usage hours are overnight, especially in a convenience charging station. This is convenience. So to get someone charging their car overnight would be very, very rare. And very rare to be super early morning, 3 to 4 a.m. or something like that. Arrivals tend to be staggered by battery levels. It's not equivalent to schools like we speak of. This is what I really want to talk about with the council, because this was a major concern for a lot of members. Vandalism. My approach to vandalism earlier was, that's our problem. We'll deal with it. We have insurance. But that's not the right answer. You're right. We should, I actually have a lot of faith in high school kids and nowadays, and I just think there's more things going on now than when we were kids to do as far as causing vandalism. But that being said, I think there's things that we can give concessions to and do to make the council more confident that this will be a safe zone and deter any potential vandalism. So number one, full perimeter fencing. With the recommendation from the Planning Commission to do black perimeter fencing all around the site. So now you're talking about a very, very secure site. The only entrance and exit to the site is an actual driveway. So if a kid or child, these aren't children, they're almost adults. If a high school student or anyone else were to try to cause vandalism to the site, they would have to go in and out through the driveway and enter the site and do whatever terrible they wanted to do. Well, that's no different than any property we were to put there. You know, very safe in the sense that there's fencing all around. They'd have to intentionally try to cause vandalism, intentionally. They didn't mosey in there. Like, they actually made a full intent to walk into the driveway, into the site, and cause issues. People do what people do, and so let's talk more about what we're planning, our concessions. 24/7 camera coverage. That's with a security company that we hired, or we would hire. Not only at the perimeter, but every stall would have this. And we talked about the crash-rated bollards to prevent any kind of crashes into the actual charging sites themselves. Upgraded lighting. I'm kind of skipping around here, but the V4 cables we talked about have less copper. The word of that will get out eventually, and nobody wants to mess with anything that doesn't behoove them. If there's no financial benefit, no one wants it. And so that's what this top of the quality supercharger provides. and this is why I saved this for last. This is sort of new. This is motion sensor monitoring is something that we add to the 24/7 camera coverage. So motion sensor monitoring is also 24/7. If you can go to the next slide. These are small weatherproof sensors that we put around the perimeter and also at every stall. They actually combine two detection sensing methods. So wind, animals, or someone just pulling in and out won't actually alarm them. If there's someone there, and we can set the hours to whatever we want, quite frankly. We can put nighttime hours start at 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. But if there's someone there after hours, that live video will go to a 24/7 monitoring center. An operator actually reviews the footage in real time. Is this someone that just checking their tire to make sure it's not low, or is this someone causing an issue? Obviously, charging and people that are just checking on their cars will be ignored. Confirmed threats actually trigger an alarm, alert the site manager, and police get dispatched. So these are measures, these are concessions that are extremely expensive, but I think it's valuable to the community as well. I mean, we are trying to make this site safer than any commercial space that exists in that area. The Dairy Queen across the street doesn't have this kind of technology. The body shop, the collision shop, we want to make it so the neighbors feel very safe and comfortable, and that's important to me. As I said, I grew up in this area. I want what's best for the community, and we think this is a very good, clean, safe option. As far as controlled access, we talked about the fencing. It would take somebody severely trying to wander in there to cause vandalism. And the only way onto the site is the driveway entrance. It's only built for vehicles, so no pedestrian opening. And we made as much buffer from the neighbors as we could behind the site specifically of 50 feet. And our plan, in addition to the fencing, would be to put privacy trees or bushes, again, according to the Planning Commission rules, and to further screen the site from view from anyone that was trying to cause issues. This is if you think about it, with the fencing and with the privacy, this is sort of a very, very private business. There's no in and out willy-nilly. Someone has to come in and out and with a extreme measure to cause harm. And even if they did that, we have measures to catch them or prevent that. Let's talk a little bit about why Warren might want something like this. There is a state policy that Michigan is actually already committed to. 100,000 EV chargers Michigan's committed to installing statewide by 2030. 2 million EVs Michigan aims to have on the roads by 2030 under their climate plan. This is supporting the state's own targets, what Michigan policy is already building towards, and Warren is car nation. I mean, this is the automotive industry. I think this is a chance for the city of Warren to take a lead on next generation infrastructure and hopefully not fall behind other communities. I think approving this project signals Warren is forward looking on a shift already underway statewide. As far as additionally what this can bring to the community, again, these are just stats, but 2.7 to 3.2% increase in nearby business spending after charging stations have been installed, 4% increase in monthly visits to nearby retailers after superchargers are installed. Drivers typically have anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes of idle time, where if someone saw a supercharger or a charger being installed in that site, thought, maybe it would behoove me to bring a retail to that business, maybe it would behoove me to start a business in that region because of that. I think this is something that can benefit the city. As far as just a quick note to the neighbors, again, I get it. I get the passion. It's hard for me because I understand the benefit of having nothing there. I mean, the reality is, there's been nothing in that site for many, many years, decade, okay? And I get it, like, why, I don't necessarily want something there. It's a commercial zoning, and so that being said, that kind of deserves a direct answer. I mean, there's opportunities to develop other things in that site. And I'm just using random examples, but like retail, fast food, gas stations, those are all in and out businesses. Someone comes for 5 minutes, someone leaves 5 minutes later. Someone comes in, comes out, comes in, comes out. Smells, restaurant smells, things like that. That is something that we're trying to avoid with the neighbors and avoid with the neighborhood. And this is something that's super clean, avoids noise, avoids cooking odors, delivery trucks, dumpsters. These are all things that we're avoiding by bringing this in. If you come up here and say, I don't want you to develop anything in that site, I'd shake your hand, because I think you're right. I can't argue with that. There's nothing I could say to change your mind about not developing anything in that site. But the fact is, this is an opportunity for the city to take advantage of a site that hasn't been developed for several years, in a clean business and very private now with all the measures that we're taking. And I think this is something better than the alternative. And so that being said, the only last thing I wanted to mention was we do have plans on having trash receptacles inside the fenced area, the fenced region, that will be emptied twice a week. We want to make it for those that charge their EVs, we want to make this the site where they're like, that's a clean site. We like going there because it's clean, safe, I like the community, I like the neighborhood, I want to go there. I don't want a site that people are like, oh, it's a dump, there's trash everywhere, it's not safe, I can't. That's exactly what we want to avoid. And so our goal is really to make something that the city of Warren will be proud of, and the neighbors will eventually look back and say, wow, that's better than the alternative, and it wasn't as bad as we thought. And so that's all I have to say. I'm happy to field any questions, but I'm obviously very passionate about this, as neighbors will be passionate about their neighborhood, and the schools will be as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Correspondence?
Correspondence, taxes, current building requires building permit, plan review applications for electric vehicle charging station, engineering. Preliminary review of this site yielded the following comments from the engineering division. Number 1, site plan shall show the location of all City of Warren underground utilities in the vicinity of the project, including their connection, size, and discharge point. askeng@cityofwarren.org. Show and identify your proposed electricity supply source and construction method of connecting to the site. Site shall comply with the current City of Warren storm ordinance. Stormwater detention and pretreatment shall be required. Number 4, provide a storm narrative. Police. The Warren Police Department has reviewed the submitted site plan and does not foresee any issues at this time. AT&T. AT&T does not object to the proposed parking lot. We do have facilities in the area, but they should not be affected. Comcast. We have area facilities in the area. Please refer to the attached map for the location of Comcast, CATV, and fiber facilities. DTE. DTE Electric Company has reviewed the site plan for new parking lot for electric vehicle charging station. DTE has no objection to this request impacting 23451 and 23437 Ryan Road, Section 30, as per the site plan provided. If you have any questions, please contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office, MCPWO, has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required during the City of Warren's engineering approval process, an application can be submitted on the Macomb County Public Works online portal Excella for issuance. Prior to construction, a soil erosion permit will be required from this office. Contact our soil erosion department at 586-469-5327 for more information regarding same. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation?
Is there any audience participation on this?
There will be, ma'am. There will be.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is as follows. It is recommended that the site plan for new parking lot for electric vehicle charging station be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically. Number one, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following. A, indicate if the intent is to provide additional chargers in future phases. 1B, the site plan indicates concrete curbing around the lot, around the parking lot, as well as bumper curbs. Typically, when concrete bumper curbing is provided, blocks are not provided. Remove the bumper blocks from the site plan unless these are deemed necessary for the charging station kiosk. 1C, indicate the setback from the wall to the front property line, that's Bart Avenue, on the site plan. And I said setback from the wall. That wall is along the west property line. 1D, indicate the setback from the proposed fence to the front property line, that's Bart Avenue on the site plan. Also indicate the type of fencing proposed. 1E, if fencing is proposed with controlled access in the area of entry to the site, this shall be shown on the site plan. If this is a part of the proposal, the fencing shall be 6 feet high, black decorative fencing, and shall be indicated on the site plan. Additionally, if it is provided with the front setbacks, then a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals would be required. Condition number 2, 2 properties identified as 13-30-476-033 and 034 shall be combined into one parent parcel. An application shall be submitted to the Planning Department requesting the approval of the combination. Condition number 3, the following variance may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the Building Division. And it is if controlled access fencing will be provided within the front 25-foot setback along Bart Avenue, a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals will be required. If approved, the variance shall be added to the revised site plan. And finally, number 4, the performance bond in the amount of $28,500 shall be posted according to the estimated cost of $950,000 by the petitioner. So with that, we have the recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak on this, come up, state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Roberta Gill. I live at 4009 Bart Avenue. I was a little confused. I thought the audience participation was first and then the... Anyway, in researching this information for this item on the agenda, I found that recharging stations for EV vehicles, according to the zoning rules, is considered a gas station. Standalone commercial operations where a charging station, the main business function, must follow the same zoning rules as a traditional gas station. The moratorium for the gas station went into effect May 14th, 2026. The application was submitted June 12th of 2026 to the Planning Commission. Why was this even accepted if it had already passed the deadline? It's a very busy intersection with the high school, the Dairy Queen, the academy, the church, fire stations down the road. BART is a main thoroughfare for the neighborhood because of the traffic light. I contacted DTE regarding the first meeting. I contacted them again regarding this meeting. They never got back with me, so I didn't get any further new information. At the initial contact, I was told that that the electrical should have their own it would be pulling from the neighborhood electrical. They should have their own transformers, so it doesn't apply to the neighborhood in case of a blackout, brownout, whatever. Again, according to the safety of the students, and I want to say this, he was very eloquent in what he had presented to you. I give him credit 100%. I thought it was very well done. On the flip side, he's not living there. We are. Other information that I have found out regarding the fire marshal said there's no way that they can put the fire out if one happens. They just have to let it burn. And those fumes go up in the air and into our neighborhood. And we have to deal with it. You don't, and he doesn't, because he's not there.
Your time's almost up, ma'am.
Okay. One real quick thing, when I went in to do some checking, I noticed that 2 members on the board, their terms have expired, and I did notice on the agenda that that's coming up, so I guess that's kind of a mute situation. But just think about us. I know it was said, not in my neighborhood. Would you want it in yours? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else like to speak on this item? State your name and address for the record.
My name is Ronald Daring. I live at 4030 Bart, adjacent to this proposed place. I have a couple of things that would bother me, and the site plan shows a egress, ingress of Bart Avenue. That is a very busy intersection, especially at school let-off. I know he's got his time frame of that's not when it will be charged. You won't have the most charging going on then. But to me, it would seem like more of a better way to do it would be to egress or ingress, whatever you want to call it, out of Ryan Road. Because the Bart Avenue, there's cars coming out of the Dairy Queen, cars coming down the street from the school. There's cars parked on the street waiting for pickups at that school time. And that makes a pretty bad congestion. People coming out of the Dairy Queen actually block me coming into my street off of Ryan Road, so I can't even get in my driveway because they're blocking the road. If you add more cars to that, it's going to be a mess. Roberta said a lot of the things that I think are correct, but the fence is another concern of mine. Is it going to be, I read on the city's site that said there's supposed to be a cement poured wall adjacent to residential property. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know what that is. Is it going to be that, or is it just going to be a small thin fence that's put up 6 feet high? I think that it should be something thicker so you can prevent these cars from driving through, because there has been a couple incidences years back of people driving through the wall at the Dairy Queen into that garage of the residents right next to the Dairy Queen. That's a couple of my concerns, and I have more, but Roberta brought those up, and I don't want to repeat those because, I also go to the St. Mark Parish. It's right next to the school, Great Oaks Academy, and those are still within a close distance. The fire thing, I understand, is where his statistics are coming from. I'm not sure But I've seen car fires, not personally, but of course online. And this is an actual GM vehicle that had no activity on it for 2 weeks because the people were out of town. They get a call from their OnStar saying the car had problems, but it didn't say it was on fire. Fire department got a call, and there's the car burning, and no one had touched it.
Time's almost up, sir.
Well, that's my concern. I know we don't have a lot of car fires, but all it takes is one. And what are we gonna do? Stop school?
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Kevin Tron, I live at 4026 Bart, next to Ron, and across the street from Birdie. The questions, I have a couple concerns. Should a fire start at the front egress? Doesn't look like there's any way of any vehicles to get out of the place if a fire did start. And, it looks like there should be a back egress of some sort so someone can get out in case of an emergency. Two, if the fire did start, are they talking about using halon, foam, CO2 to put out the fires in case there is one, in case, the vehicles do start fires? And, being close to this, if a fire did start, the smoke is gonna basically get into the neighborhood. And I'm having problems breathing the Canadian fires. I can't imagine a lithium fire. So those are my concerns. It was, like I said, there's no way of getting out of that thing if, say, a fire started in egress. Second thought would be getting a fire engine into that place if they were going to find something that they could put out the fire with. The fire station is only a block and a half away, but if they could find something that they could put the fire out with, that's kind of a not so wide egress for a fire engine to get through and turning around inside the place. I don't know how they would steer the thing. Again, some sort of egress out of the place in case there was an emergency. It's all going to be fenced in, it's all going to be bushes. So in case there was, some sort of emergency, there'd be no way for the rest of the people to get out of that thing. And those are my concerns.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening. Anyone else like to speak on this item? Good evening.
Hi, Lori Harris, 4047 Hillcrest. I just wondered, when I laughed before, it wasn't about anything here. It was that my granddaughter sent me a video saying she went poop on the potty. So that's what happened. But I wanted to ask if there, because I wasn't here and I don't know what happened at the earlier meeting. Number one, initially the picture up there was 26 charging stations. And when I Googled how much electricity 26 charging stations would use, basically, is 3 megawatts. And 3 megawatts could power 150 homes. Now, that's what Google said. I haven't done more research, but has that discussion come up in this presentation? I've heard more about, kids are not going to want to go in there. Kids are going to want to go in there. And if they're not aware, there have been problems in that area after school, at the library, at the Dairy Queen, because there are kids that are out of district that have to wait for rides to go home. So it's certainly a temptation. And also what I hear is if it's going out on Bart, I don't know why it isn't going out on Ryan Road. you know, I agree with the lady, you know, this gentleman did a, you know, nice presentation, trying to convince everybody that this is safe. I wouldn't want it next to my house. And I think that you should commend this woman here who did her research, and that's what we love residents to do, is to come with their research and bring, you know, good information to you. So I'm hoping that as a commission, you will ask good questions. And I know I've said that before to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Chair, I make a motion to approve with discussion.
Mr. Chair, I support it.
Commissioner Maury supported before you did.
I'll support, thank you.
So that was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Maury. Any discussion?
Okay. First off, I have this question to the chair, to the attorney. There was a question brought up by a resident, if this falls under the I want to clarify her point. If this falls under that gas, I do not think it does, but you could clarify if it doesn't fall under that gas station moratorium or not.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
No, the station would not fall under the moratorium. In fact, I looked it up just to be sure it didn't miss anything.
Okay, I didn't think it did either, but I wanted, so we could clarify for the resident that if it did or did not. So that's why it was brought up again. It does not apply. It does not, maybe you could clarify the point why it does not. So she seems a little confused why it doesn't apply.
It only applies to gas stations and car washes. It does not apply to electrical. I can't hear you.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It does not apply. The moratorium does not apply.
Sir, no interruptions from the audience.
okay, so it does not apply because that's how the council adopted the moratorium, that it did not include charging stations. Correct, okay. Thank you. As far as to the petitioner, if a fire, I know you say fires are very rare. I presume our fire department is aware of how to put out, you know, they have the capability to put out a fire such as a lithium or whatever type of fire that would occur. They have the capability at this time.
Yes, they do, sir.
You have conferred with the fire marshals.
Yes, and as stated, we will be working very closely with the fire marshal to make sure that fire trucks can come in and out. We have all the solutions that, as far as that's concerned. And then there is a specific material, substance that they use to put out these types of fires. Again, I just don't know how it would happen. I mean, I shared stats. These are not my stats. But if things happen, we need to be aware of, and we'd be working closely with them to make sure that that wasn't the case.
Okay, thank you. I yield the floor, Chair.
Anyone else like to speak?
Mr. Chair, I have.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes. Okay, we heard from the neighbors that, like, about the power. And what is your main power source?
Yeah.
Is any interrupting the neighbor's power?
Sure. I think that's a fair question, very valid question. To clarify, there's no 26 chargers. The revised site actually has 12 chargers. And we are working very closely with the planning department from DTE if there is a requirement based on the kilowattage usage, to have a primary power source, including purchasing our own transformers and our own equipment. That will be something that, to our expense, that we will be installing. If, though, we install the chargers that don't fit under their guidelines and we can use their secondary source, then we're going to do so as well. But those are very, very strict guidelines set by DTE for the exact reasons mentioned.
So did you already mention in your plan or no?
Yeah, we've already been working with DTE already. They originally said there is a primary power source required for 26 chargers. We've resubmitted plans based on the new plan that we're waiting to hear back from DTE, whether it'll be a primary power source or a secondary. And either or, we're ready to tackle that on.
And how many charging stations?
Currently, we have 12, according to the site plan.
There's someone
There is a chance that, so there is zero chance that we will do more, to answer one of the questions that was asked from the planning department. There is a small chance that we will do less, and that there is a chance that we might do 8. The way that the cabinet charging, think of it like the brain. The brain for the charger works is that the brain for the V4 chargers supplies 8 charging units. So there's a very good chance that we may just do one V4 cabinet and just have 8 chargers. If we do decide to do 12, you would think in your head we have an opportunity to do 16 based on we have another cabinet, but that will be something that will specifically note we will not do. 12 will be the maximum amount of chargers we do.
So it's not 36, someone is mentioned.
It is not
that
26, 28,
26,
yeah,
okay.
the maximum is 12, yeah.
Okay, so one more thing is water detention and water treatment. Mention about, from the recommendation from the Planning Commission recommendation.
I'm sorry, water?
Yes, saying that like water treatment, water detention and water treatment. You have to like comply with the city's requirement.
I mean, absolutely, but I'll let him speak more on that.
Yes. Stormwater detention and retreatment shall be required.
Yeah. Sal Lorenzano from DADC Architecture. Yeah, so the big rectangle kind of that's at a 45 degree angle at the northeast corner, that's the underground detention system that we're proposing that's in compliance with the city requirements.
Okay. This is the in ground, right?
That's in ground,
In
correct.
ground. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Mr. Chair, may I please?
Commissioner Ansar?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for choosing Warren.
Thank you.
I think last year data said that in Warren we have more than 5,000 registered EV vehicle user in Warren. I don't know recent data. We must be more than that, more than last year. So, and also the location you choose, it is a undeveloped lot, and also zoning C2 commercial business district. So zoning wise, I think it's a perfect location for this. Only concern, I heard the residents mention also same. I do have the same concern because of the school is there, and all those school kids might go there and do loitering or vandalism. So my another concern about the nighttime lighting. Can you please explain it to us? That was the plan you have. I heard all your
Yeah, so we got a couple pole lights that are indicated in the bubbles, as you can see in the revised site plan. Those are LED downlights, so there won't be any light runoff into the street or into the residence
So
or anything
will
of that.
be a whole night will be lighted.
Correct.
Okay. So and also my colleague here already asked the same question that you mentioned it that it's not going to be more than 12. So one of the residents, she mentioned 26, but basically it was not correct that 26. It will be 12 or less than 12. As you mentioned that if you do before one cabinet, it cannot be more than 8. If you put 2, max will be 16.
But we will not.
So you are not going for 16. You are submitting
That could be in
for
the
max
minutes, in the
12.
notice.
Max
Yeah.
12.
Yes.
The site plan also. So I have another question. Sure. It is a private company or whether any corporation?
This is just me. Yeah, I'm very passionate about like green energy and electric vehicles. I've owned one since 2016. This is just me. I have a LLC listed there, MacVolt, but that's my LLC. I have a partner who's with me, but yeah, it's just me. I grew up in this area. I want to bring something nice to the community. And this was my thoughts, plans, ideas.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. And for the residents, I did research about this charging station, and also you guys heard that presentation. He has mentioned everything, all those data and stats. I personally think charging station, if it's 6,000 EV vehicle user in Warren, already registered user, so they of course they are charging in their home, and most of them they do have a fast charging station. I never heard that any accident happened in Warren, any fire happened in Warren. I never heard that in Warren, and also I think we need it as a 6,000 registered EV vehicle in Warren, and we need this kind of charging station in Warren. And location-wise, it's a undeveloped location, and commercial zoning. To me, it's perfect, and it will bring more business. Another thing, sometimes people might gonna come from freeway if they're driving long distance way. So sometimes they might gonna come to the city, and it will bring business to the city too. And thank you. I'm yielding.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Duzey.
I originally was against this. And for a variety of reasons, the fire and the vandalism and everything. After going back and forth up and down Ryan Road a whole bunch, it's open. Out of all the things that could possibly go in there, this is about the least intrusive on the neighborhood that you can actually do. I understand the argument about damage to the chargers and so on, but I'm kind of stuck in the middle here. I think it's really not intrusive into the neighborhood as much as some people say it is. But my concern is a combination of no driveway onto Ryan, and that probably would have been a little better than going in and out of Bart. But are we going to need places like this? Yes. Is this the best place for it? That's debatable. And I don't know how many people would go out of their way to go to Bart and Ryan to recharge their EV. So, although I was against it originally, I've kind of turned a little bit and changed my mind somewhat that out of all the things that could go in there, this is about as least intrusive as you can find. That's my opinion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Duzey. Anyone else like to speak on this? Seeing none, to the petitioner. Good evening, sir, for the second time. I liked your presentation, the way you addressed our concerns. Because I was originally against it also, mainly because of students, the vandalism and things like that, but you explained that very well. The PowerPoint that you did was very inclusive of answering the different questions that we were asking. The only concern I still have is you talked about if you needed a bigger transformer, you could bring a bigger transformer in, and that was, my concern was, we have a lot of power outages in that area sometimes, and if the power goes out, how's that gonna affect that? And the other question is, on our drawings, the new drawings, originally it was like 26 chargers. The new drawing shows 16 chargers, but now you're saying only 12. So we need to clarify how many chargers are gonna actually be there.
Okay, it should only show 12, so the 4 extra that you see will there won't be charging pedestals at those areas.
So the parking spaces along the south side are not gonna have chargers, it's because it shows two.
No, there will be the 6 in the middle, and then there will be 6 on that edge,
On the
not,
side.
not 10.
Okay, we need to have that clarification.
Sure,
because,
yeah.
Like I said, original drawing said 16. The
Fair.
original says 26. The new drawing says 16, and now you're saying 12, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, I mean, that's less chargers, but it's just that I was concerned about power outages in the neighborhood, how
Yeah.
it would affect that also.
I think that's very fair and a fair concern. I'm not very good at public speaking and speaking in general in front of people, but this is a lot easier commission to speak to than DTE is. And so, that being said, if we do have to get our own generator, our own primary source, the outages are not a concern at all, actually a 0. But if we do, if they say that we're under the wattage for a secondary power source, I'm not an electrical engineer, and I trust that DTE understands the requirements of the community and the neighborhood, and we will go by their standards and their recommendations.
All right, thank you, sir. That was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Mori. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes, I make the motion to approve.
Commissioner Mori, I also vote yes, and I just want to say, I feel like this is a really good location because of the fire service that we have right next to it. Mr. Ansar?
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi?
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes.
Commissioner Duzay?
Yes.
Commissioner Benacki?
Yes, to approve.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes to approve. Good luck with your project, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening. We're going to jump back a minute to item number 6C. I need a motion to reopen 6C.
Chair, I make a motion to go back to items 6C.
Mr. Chair, I support it.
Mr. Chair, do you have to do the discussion again, or we can just go where we stopped?
No, we're just going to make an amendment on what they decided
Exactly.
they're going to do. There was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, Commissioner Hawk, same
like
one that
before.
did it originally.
To make this very clear and very direct, I'm now understanding what the planning staff is saying. I had an opportunity to discuss it with my client. Thank you. We are going to provide the cross-access easement. We will provide it,
Okay.
okay?
The north one?
The north one and the south one. We're going to do both,
Okay.
okay? So we will do exactly what the recommendation says.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Birdie. I need a motion to, well, we got a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Hawk.
Mr. Chair, I think one thing is still we are not cleared about the, what do you call, 3 feet thing. Yes. So are you going?
Right. He's not going to dedicate it this time. If they.
So you are
if-
continuing with the current recommendation?
So it says that we can or we don't have to dedicate that. That if they do expand Ryan Road, they'll come get it, you know, at that point. But if they don't expand Ryan Road, then we'll still have it. So we're not going to dedicate it, and we are going to provide the cross-access easement. So now, everything that's in this recommendation, we're doing. Because it
Exactly.
said
Okay.
we could dedicate or not dedicate.
All right, thank you.
So do I need a motion to,
No, we have the final action, the action stands.
okay. So we're good with the vote?
Close this action, correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Birdie.
you.
That's okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I'm not. Item number 6E.
Item number 6E, request to vacate north and south public alley, roadways, Winnie and Half, and easements within them located 440 feet south of 14 Mile Road, east of Knapp Avenue within the wastewater treatment plant property. Vacate the existing north and south 18 feet wide public alley abutting lots 711 through 722 and lots 751 through 762 of Trembleton subdivision. Vacate the existing north and south 50 50 feet wide Winnie roadway abutting lots 751 through 762 and lots 870 through 859. Vacate the existing north-south 50 feet wide roadway abutting lots 603 through 614 and lots 722 through 711. 32601 Workup Avenue, Section 3, David Muzzarelli, City of Warren, Stephen Campbell, City of Warren, PAV 260001. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go into the item, I'd like to recognize our ex officio, Councilman Mella McGee, Woman McGee. Welcome to the meeting. Is the representative for this item here?
The answer is yes.
Good evening.
Don't look like Dave.
Ron Worth, Planning Director. I'm here for Dave Muzzarelli and Steve Campbell, and representing the administration. Okay? And so with this proposal to vacate lots and alleys and roads, the reason for that, and you'll see it in your finding under, I think it's 4C here. Anyway, the petitioner's purpose, now just read this. The petitioner's purpose for the proposed roadway vacation request is to construct a storage building. And it clearly will define the area in the vicinity of several city facilities and assets. You've got Bates Park and the wastewater treatment plant and buildings that serve the wastewater treatment plant. According to the letter of intent, they are seeking to combine all of the lots, alleys, roadways, and easements together into one parcel once the vacation is completed. After that's been completed, you'll see a site plan coming before you for that storage building. So with that, that's my presentation.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Worth. Correspondence?
Correspondence, taxes current assessing. The attached request, if approved, will not affect the operations of the assessing department. The general request is to vacate portions of public alleyways and roadways adjacent to lots 603 through 614, lots 711 through 722, lots 751 through 762, lots 751 through 762, and lots 859 through 870. DPW. Based on our foreman's investigation, this will not affect DPW's operation. Engineering. Preliminary review of this site indicates no difficulty in development. Police. The Warren Police Department has reviewed the submitted petition and does not affect our operation. AT&T. AT&T does not object to the vacation of these streets and alleys as indicated on the sketch. Comcast. In response to your request, Comcast has no facilities within the projected area. DTE. DTE Electric Company has reviewed the request to vacate north-south public alleyway, roadways, Winnie Avenue and Half Avenue, and easements within them. DTE has no objection to this request impacting 32601 Workup Avenue, Section 3, as per the site plan provided. If you have any questions, please contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If an objection letter is required during the City of Warren's engineering approval process, please submit your plans on Macomb County Public Works online portal, Excella, for review. Prior to construction, a soil erosion permit may be required from this office. Contact our soil erosion department at 586-469-5327 for more information regarding same. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning Department's recommendation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is as follows. It is recommended that the north-south 18-foot wide public alley abutting lots 711 through 722 and lots 751 through 762 of Trembleton subdivision, the existing north-south 50-foot wide Winnie Avenue roadway abutting lots 751 through 762 and lots 870 through 859. The existing north-south 50-foot wide Half Avenue roadway abutting lots 603 through 614 and lots 722 through 711, and the east-west 50-foot wide Trembleton Avenue roadway abutting lots 858, 859, 910, and 911 of Trembleton subdivision be vacated. The request also includes vacating the easements within the public alley and the roadways, subject to the petitioner complying with the conditions imposed as follows. Number one, the Land Division Act includes various procedures pertaining to the amendment of plats, and the petitioner is responsible, that being the city, for complying with any further procedures as may be necessary under the Michigan Land Division Act, MCL 560.22, and to complete the vacation. Condition number 2, the planning staff recommends that the Public Service Director and Parks and Recreation Director determine which city parcels should be combined together to define the limits of the park property, that's Bates Park, and the limits of the other facilities off of Warcop Avenue. Once these parcel numbers are determined, an application requesting a combination into one or two parent parcels shall be submitted to the Planning Department. Condition number 3, after review of the proposal, the planning staff also recommends the vacation of a portion of Trembleton Avenue abutting lots 858, 859, 910, and 911 of Trembleton subdivision. Planning staff recommends this additional area to be added to the Planning Commission's recommendation and forwarded to City Council. Condition number 4, a relocation plan would be required if there are any affected utilities within the easement area or areas that are to be relocated. If applicable, the relocation plan shall be completed and a copy of the plan provided to the Planning Department. Condition number 5, approval is obtained from City Council. The petitioner shall complete the conditions within 2 years of the, 2 years of, the approval by City Council shall automatically be revoked. Condition number 2, or it's 2, number 6. A complaint shall be filed by the petitioner in circuit court to vacate the public alley and public roadways and associated public utility easements. As part of the proceedings in circuit court, a new revised subdivision plat shall be prepared reflecting the changes. The revised plat shall be recorded with the Macomb County Register of Deeds. As an alternative, the petitioner may, by non-judicial process, relinquish the public alley, public roadways, and associated public utility easements by written agreement between certain affected parties. The copy of the court order or relinquishment and the recorded documents shall be provided to the Planning Department, Assessing Department, Department of Law, Building Division, and City Clerk. And finally, number 7, the petitioner shall provide the Planning Department with documentation indicating that all conditions as assigned are completed. The department then notifies the city clerk as a certified copy of the resolution shall be recorded with the Macomb County Register of Deeds. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation is submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak on that item, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
My name is Ron Kosielski. I live at 32850 Knapp. What I'm concerned about here is what is the purpose of this? Are we going to lose land, or does the city have plans for this? What's the reason for it?
Sir, you can just ask the questions and then we can bring it
I
up.
just did. What's the reason
Well,
for
we
it?
don't give you an answer. We just want to hear everything you want to say, and then we'll comment on it when it comes to the commission.
Say that again. I can't hear you.
You just come up and tell us what you want us to know, and we'll have a discussion on it afterwards. Because we don't really discuss it back and forth.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So you're, let me, hold 1 second, sir. Hello, hold 1 second.
I'm hard of hearing.
I know, it's okay. I get that way sometimes too. But, so you basically want to know how the land is going to affect
Yes.
where you're at? Okay. We'll ask that question. Was there anything else that you wanted to know?
No, that was it. That's
Okay.
my question.
All right. Thank you, sir.
My name is John Bracknell. I'm at 32839 Half Court. I received a letter on this, and I think I've got the same question as this last gentleman. I'm on Half Court, and I received a letter about vacating and this other bit. I'm hearing what he has to say, but I have no idea what he's saying. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be affected, or any of the neighbors on Half Court, by what this is. There's a lot of lot numbers and a bunch of other jargon. Us as citizens there, we have no idea what you're saying. So if somebody could explain to me how this affects us on Half Court or any of the other streets in the area, that would be nice to know. I have no idea. When I'm looking at this, I'm not even sure where my house is on this. I'm at the end of the cul-de-sac on Half Court, and my property goes up against Bates Park. So I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We'll see if we can clarify that for you. Anyone else wants to come up and speak on this?
Hi, I'm Jared Diebel. I live at 32821 Winnie Avenue. Mine's of the 3 rectangles you have there, mine's the top house on the left side. The letter we got in the mail really said nothing about what was going on with it. It was hard to even understand what was being done. Basically, what this looks like is the field, the park. We moved into this property about 2 months ago. I apologize, I'm pretty upset by what I'm seeing here, but I feel like if the neighborhoods would have actually known what was going on here, we would have had a lot more people here today. I feel like this being dropped on us out of nowhere, and yeah, really one of the main reasons we moved to Warren and to our property is about to be ripped out from under us. Yeah, the park and access to it and the field there was a major reason we came here. This is incredibly upsetting. Anyways, yeah, without knowing what's going on, it's hard to say anything.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Anyone else like to speak on the item?
Yes, I would. My name is Jesse Yeager. I live at 32830 Winnie Avenue. Those are my neighbors. Looking at this, I believe I'm about to lose my access to the park. Lived here for 10 years, 12 years. I think almost every day we talk about how how nice that park is. My fence is still damaged from DTE's trucks. How does this benefit anybody here? What are we doing with this park? Why is this so hard to communicate to people what's actually happening? Because I think everybody sat here wondering what this letter even means. And then sat here unable to hear half of it. And I've got to say, you've got people here with hearing aids. These are people who want to hear about their homes. And we can't get the microphone to work. I feel about that the same way I feel about this. There's nowhere near enough information here. And if everybody here is upset, what would they do about it to change it? And I know nobody's going to answer that, but hopefully somebody's going to leave here and ask the same question. I don't know if any of you live or on any of these streets. I'm going to guess no. But we hear the construction trucks, and yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see that thing get destroyed. You're gonna put a data center there eventually, or what? Screw DTE. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Nicole. I live at 32821 Winnie Avenue. So I am again abutted to the park, and I understand probably the park in everybody's mind is that small area with the swings and the slides and the jungle gym. But that's not what the community sees as the park. The park is that field where people walk their dogs, where kids play soccer, where there's softball games that go on. Like, this is a part of the community. There's people out there doing things. And so I'm sorry, that little mulched area with a few slides and a few swings isn't the park. Fewer people use that area than the actual field and the trails and the people that are getting their exercise walking laps around that area to stay active and in the community. And that park connects to the woods where people can go on nature hikes and things like that. This community, like, yes, we took on this property recently, and we knew we were going to be close to the wastewater treatment plant, and that is something that we live with and we understand. But we did not, buying this house just a short time ago with basically every ounce of savings that we have and are likely going to have for a very, very long time, did not expect to literally lose like part of the thing that made us want to become a part of this community specifically, when we could have gone anywhere else. And so, yeah, that map is pretty upsetting. I don't want to see the field go away. It's really important to us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
So, Lori Harris, I don't live there, but I've come before you so many times and encouraged you to ask questions. Tonight, I'm going to ask you to table this, and I'm going to ask you to request the city, whether it be the property maintenance, Mr. Mazzarelli, or the planning commission, to set up a meeting and talk to the residents. Do not make a decision on this tonight. That is unfair. It's not right. So hopefully someone up here will have enough bravery to actually table this until enough information is provided to the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item? Mr. Worth, can you come up a minute, please? I'm gonna ask you a question. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Listening to what we're hearing here, I would like to see if we can maybe possibly make a motion to postpone it, to give the city a chance to meet with the residents, to see, so the residents have an understanding or at least a concept of what you're trying to do. Because looking at this, it looks like you're going to do something in this whole area that's squared out, and that's not really what's gonna happen. You're just doing that because that's the parcels. But if they have a better idea where they're planning on locating this warehouse, it might make it a little easier for them to kind of accept what's going there. Because I know the warehouse is used for city offices, part of it's gonna be used for the water treatment plant and things like that. So if they could meet with some of the residents around that area and just kind of explain what they want to try to do, just to kind of give them comfort that it's not going to affect them like they're thinking it will be.
All right, and I agree with another meeting. I agree tabling or postponing this so that the public can have a public hearing and listen to the people that, and reason why the city wants to use about a quarter of that to build a storage building to house a number of different vehicles that they have. Right now, we just don't have enough room. The building, by the way, when you look at that image up there, just leave it where it's at. All right, the black top there of a building, that building that's there with the parking. Okay, so the one that they want to build is to the left of that image. Okay, move the cursor, yeah, and somewhere right about, right in there, a circle, and it's about as long as the building there, and that's about where approximately it would go. All right, and what was said earlier was that the planning department here has requested that the Parks and Rec director determine between Mr. Mazzarelli, the public service director, define exactly where the park is and define where the property that wastewater treatment uses. All right, just definition alone is helpful. Thing is, they blend, and I clearly understand how people have used it, and they use the whole thing. Matter of fact, that the image down there actually shows an old baseball field that was constructed by, no, not there, down there. Yeah, right there. That was constructed by people who work at the city workers. They wanted a ball field that they could play on and have fun with. And that was years ago, needless to say. But it hasn't been used. I think everything's been removed. But it's a wide open area. I understand that. We understand that. But we also understand, you have to understand the needs of the city. I don't think that where I just indicated where the building would be would remove that much area. But we do need to define where the park is, and just for the sake of where it is, and where the wastewater treatment plant property is. They could still blend out there on the on the field, but on paper you could actually see it. And those blue stripes are showing the right-of-way of the wider ones of the roadways that go north and south from. They're actually half, and where the cursor is, there is an alley between those. And so those are actually, we call them paper streets because they don't exist out there in the field. And that's what they want to remove and then reestablish actual boundaries of the park and actual boundaries of the wastewater treatment plant area. And that would help you understand it more, help the public understand it more. But I actually think at this point in time, I think there's gonna be time enough to do this. Because I know they're they were trying to move kind of quickly, and, well, anytime there's engineering that has to be done, that takes a little time, so they've slowed down a little bit. We'll probably try to get something in place, within a week, or not week?
Well, do we want to maybe ask the postpone to September 14th? That's the tentative date of that when they wanted to propose the site plan for the storage shed.
Well, it wouldn't matter if this was on there, that probably would help, but a meeting before that, we could arrange that with everyone that we notified.
So you suggesting postponing until September 14th?
I think that they have it on the same meeting.
September 14th. That way, the public can see the building, they can ask questions about parking and driveways and things like that, and how it would affect what's out there right now.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Need a motion to postpone this to September 14th, 2026?
Motion to postpone September 14, 2020.
Second the motion.
There's a motion by Commissioner Ansar, supported by Commissioner Heidi. Roll call.
Commissioner Answer?
Yes, motion to postpone it.
Commissioner Heidi?
Yes.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes to postpone.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes.
Commissioner Dizze?
Yes to postpone.
Commissioner Mori votes yes to postpone. Commissioner Benecki?
Yes to postpone.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes to postpone. That way it gives the residents a chance to see exactly what's going on there. Item number 7A.
7A, site plan for new minor auto repair and tire shop located on the northeast corner of Van Dyke Avenue and Ford Avenue, 22600 Van Dyke Avenue, Section 34, Auni Tawfiq Bartash, PSP 260037, letter to petitioner denied by the Planning Commission on July 27, 2026. Thank you.
Need a motion to receive and file?
Chair, I make a motion to receive and file.
Support, Maury.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Mori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 7B.
Item number 7B, Planning Director's letter to the Zoning Board of Appeals regarding the site plan for 25200 Easy Street, updating the board that following the variance denials for open storage of trucks and trailers in a P parking zoning district, the petitioner revised the proposed site plan and received site plan approval for a trucking facility and repair shop within 3A grade truck bays at the July 27, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. With the site plan meeting all requirements of the zoning ordinance and no variance being required for the project to move forward.
Need a motion to receive and file?
Chair, I make a motion to receive and file.
Support, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Duzze. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 8.
Number 8, minor amendment to site plan approval for warehouse addition to Art Van facility located on the south side of 14 Mile Road, approximately 645 feet west of Hollingsworth Avenue, 6500 14 Mile Road, Section 4, Heather Dieterson, Joshua Levertide, PMA 190005. The minor amendment is for mezzanine additions inside the warehouse addition. The conditions of this minor amendments were not completed within 2 years, and Art Van is no longer in operation. The minor amendment shall be formally expired and closed out by the Planning Commission.
Need a motion to close out the minor amendment?
Motion to close out the minor amendment.
Chair, support.
There's a motion by Commissioner Duzze, supported by Commissioner Halawadi, to close out the minor amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 9, bond release.
Item number 9, minor amendment to site plan approval for warehouse addition to Art Van facility located on the south side of 14 Mile Road, approximately 645 feet west of Hollingsworth Avenue, 6500 14 Mile Road, Section 4, Heather Dieterson, Joshua Levertide, PMA 190005, The minor amendment is for mezzanine additions inside the warehouse addition, approved on June 17, 2019. Cash bond posted in the amount of $15,000. Project expired, release the bond.
Need a motion to release the bond?
So
I
moved.
bring motion to release the bond.
Support.
There's a motion by Commissioner Hulk, supported by Commissioner Ansar, all to release the bond of $15,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 10, new business, seeing none. Item 11, citizen participation. Does anyone like to come up and speak? State your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
I guess I'm the only one left. I found this meeting to be a little bit embarrassing, and I'm hoping the commission feels a little embarrassed. The Maxwell property, did you hear the resident say that in the past, this property owner did not comply with previous issues? Why didn't anyone ask the petitioner about the concerns brought up? What's going to be different? What promise or pledge would he make to the neighbors? And in number C, or letter C, why would you approve a planning site plan and not clarify everything before a vote? That was really embarrassing because Mr. Worth apparently wanted to say something and Michelle was trying to say something during the reading or the voting, and the petitioner was trying to get Miss Birdie's attention, and it was like a circus. It was really embarrassing, really, really embarrassing. Like, what didn't you know before you came to the meeting that they needed to know? I mean, how did that happen? It doesn't look professional. It makes us look really like not a professional city. I want to talk about 14 and Ryan, the speedway that's going in. And I know you all approved it, and there were probably variances they got. But did you consider, in your approving it, that the driveways are kind of right at the light on Ryan and 14 Mile Road? So when people are trying to pull out to go left out of each of those driveways, they're going to run into the middle lane traffic that's trying to turn north on Ryan Road off of 14. So if you can picture that, you've got people coming from the east. They want to get over into the middle turn lane to go into Speedway. There's always 8 to 10 cars in that left turn lane waiting to go north on Ryan Road. So you're going to have people fighting for that middle turn lane, and then you're adding in people pulling out of the gas station where the only entrance on 14 Mile is, to also go through the left turn lane. So I'm wondering if you had considered at all, or someone would consider, making no left turns out of those driveways. Because 14 and Ryan is one of the most dangerous intersections in Macomb County. At least that's what the Macomb Daily said. So we need to think more about what we're approving and not wait until there's some crisis. And I think we send way, way, way too many things to zoning. When a planning is approved, you have half of the alphabet of things that need to be changed, and it doesn't make sense. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Seeing none. Item number 12, Planning Commission business. 12A, nominations for 2026, 27 Planning Commission officers.
Mr. Chairman.
We have a sheet that has the different positions with the names of the different officers. And this is just a nomination. We'll vote at the next meeting on these. So, do we have a nomination for chair?
I nominate Warren Smith.
I second that nomination.
I accept.
Good.
We have a nomination for vice chair.
Make a motion for Benecki.
I support it.
I'll also nominate Commissioner Ansar, if he wants to accept it.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
We need a second for that.
I'll support that one.
Okay. You, Commissioner Benecki? Accept Ansar? Okay. Oh, accepting yourself?
No, we have two, we're just taking nominations today,
Taking nominations.
no elections.
I understand that, but there was,
Well, you were nominated,
You
and
and
Ansar were
Ansar.
nominated
right. I
for vice
understand.
chair. Do you accept it, or?
Yes.
Okay, so you,
That's what you asked for.
well, you both, okay, so you're both accepting it, so,
Okay.
but the vote's
Be
not till
election
next
next
time.
time.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, secretary. Right now, we have Commissioner Maury. Is there anyone else?
I make a motion that we retain Commissioner Maury as
I support it.
secretary.
Okay,
I'll accept it.
okay. Assistant secretary, we have Commissioner Duze.
Can I make motion for Mr. Duze?
I'll second that.
You accept
you.
it?
You accept?
Yes.
Okay. So nominations are for chair, Commissioner Smith. For vice chair, nominations for Commissioner Ansar and Commissioner Benecki. Nomination for secretary is Commissioner Maury. And nomination for assistant secretary, Commissioner Duze. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item number 12B, Planning Director Report.
Maybe the only thing I'm going to comment on, I've got a lot of things, but in this last, doesn't work. Anyway, I'll get closer here, but, all right, Lori. Anyway, the meeting, we'll try to set that meeting up as quickly as possible when it comes to these vacated alleys and roadways and the construction of a building that the city needs. We'll try to do that as rapidly as we can. We'll get something out, and we've got to get a place to meet, which maybe it could be here, I don't know. We'll find out. But we'll get it out, have the people meet, hopefully get better information, and they'll understand more about it, whether they approve of it or not. So that's about all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. Any discussion, any questions, Mr. Worth? Seeing none. Item 12C, Plan Commission discussion and concerns.
Yes, no?
Good evening, Councilwoman McGee.
Good evening, everyone. Earlier this week, I received some calls in the area of the Continental Community, mobile homes. And the resident that lived there is within my district, District 1, and they are complaining regarding how they're having a problem with vandalism in their area. The skirts are being removed from the mobile homes. They are, the windows are being removed and broken. Glass is all over the place. I've taken some photos and passed it on to our director here, our planning director. Their streets are broken. Matter of fact, a truck came in the area while I was there and picking up mobile homes that to them were not approved. And then they stated that a couple of the homes where they live were they were vandalized while they were in the home. You have a couple of the residents who have, that are disabled, and they're really concerned and afraid right now of what's going on in that area. I know that this was an area where I believe the apartments are coming in, new builders are coming in, and they said that they had not been it had not been communicated when they are expected to move. So you have a lot of them that moved out, but there are at least 8 mobile homes that's still living there. And now they're becoming more afraid. They're afraid to drive down the streets because they're afraid that, their cars will be damaged. And they're definitely afraid for their lives. They said that there's some human trafficking in the area. And they also talked about, in addition to this, that they had expected to get some type of buyout for them to move out of the area. They said they've seen it in other mobile home areas, and they expected to get some type of compensation to move. They said the last communication was around 2 months ago. And I'll be willing to share the photos that I have with you guys, but I think there's something that definitely need to be done around the area. They said they have called the police several times. The management is no longer in the management mobile home location. There is, they said there is a person there who lived there that provide them with some information. Their main concern is that they pay a reasonable amount of rent there. And because they pay a reasonable amount of rent, how are they going to come up with at least 3 months of rent in order for them to move? The other thing is that they would like for some type of offer where they can at least, if you're going to give them a deadline date in which to move, that they can have go without paying rent within that amount of time. They're asking whomever the new builder would be. So that pretty much is it, but it's enough if you see the photos how bad it is in that area. It is horrible in that area. Very quiet, but the 8 homes that are there, they're really worried and they're very scared. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. McGee.
What is the what area?
It's called Continental Community, right off of 8 Mile.
Between
Yes,
Warner.
off of
Between
Ryan
Warner.
and 8 Mile. That is correct.
Near 8 Mile, okay.
Mhm.
There's still 8 homes in there?
Yes, it's still 8 mobile homes in that area.
Did,
Much of anything in
I know, you know how the area look.
there. Yeah.
I do have a question. Did we approve of
That's why I'm
anything on
saying
this
I-
site plan, on this area?
Yeah.
What do we,
Okay.
You did approve, but when
Yes,
you
I think something we
approved,
approved on this, like,
Okay.
please understand, when you approved, I had asked that, that the new builder coming in, that he would help with the moving expense, and he had said that he would.
During the rezoning proceedings, that concept plan, remember, it's a concept plan,
Okay,
so we don't know really how it's gonna look.
okay.
So did
So-
ZBA approve?
No,
No, we approved.
We approved, but.
Yeah, the
okay.
planning, yeah, the planning commission approved.
rezoning?
We approved the zoning.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we had some of the neighbors in the houses complaining about that people were gonna look in their windows from the 2nd floor or something to that effect. I mean, it was a rather contentious meeting. but,
Yeah, I
um,
remember.
How many were there originally? There were.
I don't remember how
I'd
many,
say
but it was
that-
quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd say easily 100.
Yeah, it was quite a bit. Matter of fact, the longest living person over there is one of the 8. He's been there 35 years.
Chair?
Yeah.
At this point, I understand their concerns and everything, but at this point, what as a planning commission, I'm no, maybe confused at the point, what as planning commission can we do at this point forward to help the citizens?
That's my concern.
I
What
mean,
can
maybe-
you?
I don't know what as a planning commission we could do outside of, what we've done already. Well, Mr. Worth, maybe you can answer? I mean, I know the concern about the vandalism and everything else, I can understand that, but
We approved the builder.
I know, but at this point. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, so Councilwoman McGee, she brought up what's going on there,
Yeah.
all right? Well, frankly, it's called, what can the administration and city council do about it?
Yeah, well, can we as a planning commission?
What can we do? Well, certainly I can use your words and your pictures, and I can put that together, unless you want to do it, and send that to the mayor, who then should turn it over to the police and public service, and have them go down and take a look, because, they did quite a wonderful job at Maxwell, clean that all up. Well, this is a whole nother terrible looking place.
That's a mess.
Well, it shouldn't
Okay, I
be.
understand.
It should be a clean area, whether it's vacant or not, or a few people are there. And they should be
I
safe.
understand.
So, it does take at least that letter from you. I mean, we can. Did you? Okay.
Okay.
All right, you come to us, and what I can do is review the file, the rezoning, what they said they were gonna do, and things like that. I could report back here, let you know what they said, and you talked about it, and just not let it go.
No.
I'm not saying that.
This
I'm
is something,
Going forward.
we don't need this in our town, frankly, so.
I agree.
It's gotta be
Just
taken care of.
Maybe redevelopment, better, whatever.
I think we should come back with a plan. I think if the builders are gonna move in, they should have had.
A better site plan?
A cleanup plan, and it doesn't look like if you have one, it's not carried through.
Well, okay.
If
the
there's no
problem-
site plan.
The problem with it, there is no site plan at this point. But the problem with it these days is dependent upon the type of rezoning that took place. And this was a regular rezoning. And they could show you anything they wanted up on, the concept plan, what we say we think it could be, but they don't have to do it. It can change drastically into something else. That's the only problem with a regular rezoning. I give you an idea of how it can be developed. And I've had enough experience to watch people walk away from a rezoning like that. The other rezoning is rezoning with conditions. You guys are well aware, there's an agreement with that. There's also a site plan that's tacked onto that says, guess what? This concept plan, it's gonna be that. And that's what, maybe that should have turned into. But we're left with this, so we need to try to find our way to put pressure where it's needed. Whether it's, so. Yeah. Do you want I don't know, do you want something from me next time out? That a report on the rezoning and its status?
That'd be nice to have.
Yes, I
Okay.
recommend that.
All right, I'll
And-
do that.
If you could meet with the builder and find out exactly what's going on, why he's delaying and dragging his feet and everything.
Yes.
What the holdup is, anyway.
Yeah.
I know they've talked to Tom Bomarito and about certain things that might help them with the development, but we need the whole picture here,
Right,
so.
we do.
All right?
So you'll have that for us by the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I want to say yes.
Well-
We're real busy, but we're gonna get it.
We need
We'll
a
get it.
report from Dave, where he can speak to the management,
Well, Dave can,
the mobile
well,
management.
yes, I mean, he's gonna, all right, if it's me, I'm sending in the building division, the zoning people. They're gonna go in and look at that. They're gonna report to the owners and indicate they've got a mess they gotta clean up. Cleanup goes on. And talk to the police and see if they can, be there more often than what they are, because but I know nothing about that. They're the ones that should tell us how often they go through there. And so maybe they can make a report that way. But that's what Dave, I think, would ask, and ask that of the mayor. So, yeah.
Thank you, Councilwoman McGee, and thank you, Mr. Worth. Any other questions? Item number 13, calendar pending matters, seeing none. Item number 14, need a motion to adjourn.
Take a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Duzay, supported by Mr. Heidi. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good evening.
Okay.